Welcome back to Anubis. We've got Endpoint versus LDLC in a best of 3.
Looking forward to this one. We're finally getting that Anubis pick that we've been waiting for, chomping at the bit for the past few weeks. I'll be curious to see how these two teams play it. Endpoint, as far as I could tell, have not played it in an official yet, so this is their official debut.
I think they played it once. I'd have to go check, but I think they've both got one official map on it, but I couldn't quite see it either. Oh, entry over towards the A side here. It's going to be LDLC. Afro able to get the first kill. Brooksy. Oh, mighty Max MHL just going to collapse. This should be a fairly easy round here for LDLC. Endpoint, unfortunately, put a little bit more manpower over towards the B site. Just to be expected. Unfortunately, they weren't able to quite defend the A site. It was a fantastic execution by LDLC, though.
You are correct. They have played it once against Aurora, and that was a 16-6 affair in favor of Aurora.
Interesting.
So, Endpoint haven't quite come to grips. We'll see if they've made some improvements since then, as of course this first round is going to be going quite handedly in favor of LDLC, of course. As we head into the next round, we see what changes get made. Wasn't nice to execute onto the A site, but of course pistol rounds are as pistol rounds will be, you know. They tend to be a little coin flippy. The real question is what happens in this round? This round when LDLC have all the money in the world to play with and Endpoint don't have a whole hell of a lot.
Well, it seems like it's going to be a force. Makes sense, to be honest. One went down. We're going to be seeing a solid buy from LDLC. I'm a little bit worried for Endpoint, I'm not going to lie, especially after looking more sort of recent results. They lost very recently versus Galesk in a best of 3, and their Inferno, they're kind of dominated on 16-6. They lost. Good one. Amanek getting some initial damage. MHL does go down. Nert has got the MP7, which could be an interesting factor, especially playing down in towards Connector here. Maybe able to catch Gravity off guard if he decides to play a little bit aggressive. Flashing out in towards A main there. This is a center point where if you lose control of this, it's going to be very difficult to hold on to the A site. Flashing towards, no, smoking towards Connector rather. Molly following it up. Decent clearance, allowing Gravity to just clear out those angles. Further map control. I do respect LDLC playing a little bit more slowly on this one, respecting the fact that these pistols can be very deadly at close proximity. And potentially shotguns as well.
I'm not sure if Endpoint fell for the bait or if they purposely pulled back and are attempting a retake, but they've all moved across towards that B site. Once this bomb goes down, a retake on A, that's going to be so difficult with pistols.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it was maybe try to go for some kills. I think they fell for it at first, and then it's like, okay, well, we've given up towards the A site. And I mean, not having a main control there as well is going to be super difficult. If they've already made their way in towards the A site, you kind of want to just now opt in to try and get some exit frags.
Yeah, just hold angles because it looks like it's a save. You know, they invested quite a bit into this. There's quite a lot of armor on the field here. And I don't want to lose all of that unnecessarily, so holds. Did you not see that?
Oh.
Now he did.
END.HeavyGoD.
Yeah. Oh.
Not sure. Yeah, let's catch him off guard. There we go. Some extra money in the bank. There's an extra weapon there as well if one of the other players decides to retreat back, but they opted to play a little bit safer and keep the armor.
You know what? Fair enough. I respect it. It was a good decision to make. I wasn't sure about the attempt at a force there, and of course it didn't work out for them, unfortunately. So, got a little bit of cash to play with, yeah, but they did lose a few players in that one, so it is going to be quite janky, depending on how much they opt to spend in here.
Nothing.
Okay, good. I was like, maybe they go for upgraded pistols, but no, they hold on to as much cash as they can, because they've already lost 2 rounds after forcing, so rather hold on to that cash into the next. They know that LDLC are on a bonus now, and if they can do some damage, then maybe they can start to chip away at the econ.
I do appreciate them going and holding over towards A main. And they're going to be trying to play for a little bit more information than they potentially deserve here if they decide to push. But they've got no flashes, so I'd be surprised if they do decide to just YOLO it out there. Gravity, he's seeking information, pushing his way up through Connector. Oh, Amanek. Mighty Max overplayed his hand. Dealt 38 points of damage, but yeah, I mean, this is an executioner towards B. And there's just no way that you're going to be able to go back in and try to bring this back. They can go pick up the upgraded pistol if they want. Afro doesn't even have a rifle or anything. He's just stuck on this USP since that first round. Oh, what?
Oh, what? I mean, this was just a carbon copy of the previous round, but in reverse or mirrored.
Nuts. I'm fairly certain he had most of his HP there. I might have missed him getting dinked or something, but he just got completely destroyed by Afro. The player I was kind of down talking as it were at the start because he's had a lot of inconsistencies and he's coming in here feeling right at home with his French brethren. He can actually do this. No, he does get taken down. It's going to be an MP7 recovered, which is good. But that's a bonus round win for LDLC, Sam. It is looking nice for them, but we're still at the very start.
That was actually so funny to watch because so Afro is first on site with his USPS. Nothing happens. Cool. He gets that first kill in the smoke. And then he goes hunting. And he goes into Narnia. And he's all the way on the A side because he's trying. And the rest of LDLC have booked it. They're heading back towards their own spawn to get away from the bomb. And he's just like, nah. I'm on a mission here, folks. And he manages to get quite a few kills. He's currently top fragging. I mean, this is great. And this is what I was saying earlier, Tommy. We were both kind of talking about it. But when he's online, when he's on it, he can be so good and so impactful. But it's that inconsistency that can sometimes turn around and be a huge issue. And of course, not buying in the previous round has allowed for the AWP to come out into this round. Okay, it's not Afro that's bought it. Amanek has kindly donated that one across. But they've got so much cash in bank at the moment. This is the perfect opportunity for that runaway lead that could just clinch them this map.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Afro's now got the easiest gun to shoot with, as it were, the AWP, as Simple's reference to. But he can be good with this gun. I do agree when he's on point. But the issue is that the inconsistencies can really cost his team a lot. But it looks like he's awake for this one. Let's see if that can continue now. He's going to be using the point and click gun. Mighty Max going to be situated in towards the double door area in mid. Gravity is going to be playing fairly aggressive. Just trying to play around this connector position. Get some information. Takes a little bit of damage. Every little bit counts, especially when you've got M4s in your roster. AWP on MHL. See if he can actually make that work. Brooksy, he does know that a player's crossed. I'm not sure if he saw the second one, though. So he could now be baited out, thanks to this other player just hiding in this corner. That nade is going to give away a position, but you know what? The damage has been delivered.
See, MHL has a point and click of his own. That's all the way over towards the A side. And as it stands now, LDLC not only have full control of mid, they're headed towards B.
Yeah, and I mean, unfortunately, Brooksy, thanks to the nade that landed on him, that was a really saving factor for the defense. Gravity could be the changing factor here for the side of LDLC, but this round is looking rather dangerous for them. Oh, information has now been gathered. Gravity is going to get a little bit of a backup player behind him. Afro still looking for any kind of targets. He gets a chance. He misses. The shot lands on him instead. Gravity gets a chance to shoot the shoulder of one of the players there. Flash are going to be coming out, but now there's going to be 3 of them pushing up against him. He gets one, but that's going to be all she wrote. Afro, he sounds a real over on the site. Nerds is still alive, rather. He gets another 2 kills. Fantastic. Nice. Afro, last player left alive. Not sure how he survived missing that shots. And again, Mighty Max wants to stay alive. He's going to have to jump around, but no, he does get taken down. I think he was going to do his best to try and get the kill after time.
I mean, that was an interesting round from LDLC. So they posture a little bit over towards B. Endpoint take a very aggressive stance. And once they have control of that space, LDLC just never take it back. So they kind of hover forever over towards kind of the catwalk connector area, those 2 positions, without ever actually pushing, without actually trying to take the space. They had mid control as well. They could have pivoted, they could have gone A, but they just they hung around forever, and they slowly got dismantled.
I think Endpoint did really well in that. Especially Nerds, he was dancing around that pole fantastically. Afro. He managed to get a kill at the end there, but otherwise he missed his opportunity to get the kill down over towards that B long position. Ooh, EnD.HeavyGoD does get a tag onto Amnik, but not a kill. A Molotov does land just in time and just behind that smoke, but they can probably tell now that there is going to be an execute. Afro with a decent flash out in towards that bridge position causing potentially a little bit of a distraction and confusion here. Trying to make them undedicated. Good flash coming in. MHL is going to have to line them up. He's the last one left alive on this site right now. Torrent players pushing towards him. Afro and MHL both missed their shots. They're still going to be pushed him. He does manage to get one tag, but he's going to have to keep falling back and giving up loads of space here. Unable to really contest against this. And now down to 3 people. Smoke was out. Maybe a split like a couple of seconds too early, because that kind of really indicates to them that someone's just backed off there.
That was a better round. This is what I would have wanted to see in the previous round. You know, they kind of posture a little bit towards B, pull back, pivot, head over towards A. And A is really difficult to retake. So if you're going to take control of a site, once you have control of it, yeah, you're pretty much in it. You know, you've got a really, really good opportunity of maintaining control, holding on to it, and not losing that one out, particularly when you have this huge numbers advantage. So this was a better one, a little bit of a fake, and then the pivot away. I'd like to see more of that. But of course, Endpoint, not a team to be trifled with. We've got a pause coming out here, which I would not be surprised to learn is Endpoint taking a timeout just to kind of discuss the situation here.
It is a tech pause, so no discussion should be had.
Oh, unlucky.
On them, but they could take a tech pause afterwards, I imagine. But yeah, LDLC have played that really well. I have to agree. That's more of what we want to see from them. I think from Endpoint, I mean, you can see that 3 other players currently have 0 kills. They've been fairly ineffective. You can like pretty much 0 average damage per round at the moment for them. Where 5 rounds in, you'd expect a lot more at this point. You look on the other side, pretty much every player's been effective. I mean, Snoblin really hasn't been as much, but there's at least been some use for his team. So I'm excited to see what Endpoint can bring out of the bag. LDLC have been doing a good job, or the same.
Nice early map control from Endpoint as well. Nice to see that they're not completely ignoring mid again. They don't want to allow those easy rotations to just keep happening.
We saw a flash come over in towards that bridge position all the way through that last round to cause a bit of a distraction. There's also a double nade there as well. Really good at being able to try and clean out those angles. Flash out over towards B long. No one is here though. We do see LDLC creeping along over towards the A site. They've got the control, almost got control in towards that A main. Gravity's baiting out a lot of utility here from Nerds and his teammates. He knows that this is probably his chance. He's going to chuck down a smoke, probably follow up with a flash or a Molotov, depends on what we've got. Counter flash from the other side. There's going to be a flash and a molly, one from each player. And that is Nerds losing control of that position. Going to have to back off over towards this long. It's going to be Snoblin. The flash comes out. He doesn't get the shots. He does get the damage, but not the kill. Now Surreal's going to have to back off. Trying to get the kills, but Gravity pushes in past the smoke. Now MHL misses the shots. Oh, that gap right here. Snoblin. His ability of being able to get that kill was so crucial. 10 HP left, but again, a bit of a disappointing defense from Endpoint.
Yeah, I mean, especially because B, they generally tend to have an okay grasp on it, particularly when they take that slightly more aggressive stance. But unfortunately, this time around, you know, Snobbling holding up close, they expect him to be there. But there's that prediction, right? You see it a lot. It's so common where as soon as a flash comes out, players will instinctively start spraying where they expect the aggressing player to run through, right? Like, it's if the flash is coming out, somebody's probably running. So that's what Snowflake does. He's like, all right, well, flash has just come out. I'm blind. I'm going to spray and pray. And he gets a kill. And it's fantastic because it opens up the space that they need. They get an extra kill. That's one less player on the site and gives Gravity the chance that he needs to push in, get the follow-up kill, and that's it, right? The site is completely theirs. And that is a little bit lackluster from Endpoint. You know, we do expect something a little bit more out of this team. Remember, guys, Endpoint got you through being in the Pro League. And bearing in mind that they went 0-6 or 1-5, something like that in Pro League. They didn't do terribly well, but they were playing against the best of the best.
Gravity just quickly dispatches two of the players. And keep in mind, I mean, MHL just took a huge amount of damage. I mean, this is round already.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much. I mean, if you look at it, there's no way they're going to go in for a retake here. They've got a player of 10 HP. He may be an AWP, but when you're going in for a retake, you kind of need to be able to sustain some of the damage, especially this early on, that you know that a lot of grenades are in play. Amanek is just waltz into the site, doesn't even bother checking anything because he knows his teammates are there. MHL, finally, he gets a kill.
Oh, that was unnecessary from Brooksy, but fair enough. I mean, they cleared out the entirety of that area, so they knew that they were safe to plant. No problems. And it looks like they're going to hunt for this. They don't want to allow Endpoint to save. I mean, you take a look at Endpoint's economy. It's such a mess. They can get rid of these guns. Oh, that's going to be so devastating for the Endpoint squad. This is rough. They actually have to. They're being forced to use some of their util that they would have liked to have held on to just to keep LDLC at bay.
Almighty Max might be able to catch him off guard. No, Afro's there. He might get a second one as well. He misses it. That is a decent turn of events. MHL going to be able to get a second one. They lost one extra gun, but taking down a couple of players, you know what? It's something.
It's something.
You know, might help them from like a morale perspective.
I doubt it, Tom. I doubt it. I think that there is definitely a feeling of dismay at the moment for the Endpoint squad. This is not looking good. I don't think they were expecting the Anubis to come out. I certainly wasn't. I knew that Endpoint were going to ban out LDL's usual pick, but I didn't think LDL were going to go, all right, fine, and then take it to Anubis.
Afro, how have you stayed alive? Thanks for his teammates there. I mean, Gravity and Brooksy coming out at the right times. Nuts, unfortunately, getting slaughtered. And, I mean, this is another round on the board here. Like, this is not going to be a retake. This is 3 back-to-back rounds where B has been taken over. I kind of actually missed what happened there over towards B long. It was just so quick.
Yeah, it was genuinely blink of an eye. You've got 2 players swinging out at the same time, shots firing through, and Endpoint just struggle under pressure. Ooh. Would have liked to have been able to take an extra gun. I say an extra gun. A gun away from LDLC. There's still a chance. No, there's not.
Well, we got Anubis.
Did we?
But how long will we be on Anubis? That's the question. MHL, you got to hit those shots, mate. That was a difficult one. I'm not gonna really go down on him on that front. But 7 rounds, LDLC.
I thought this was gonna be closer. You know, we spoke about it. LDLC come in, sure, with some seasoned players like Afro and Amanek, but 3 players who are as green as it gets, rounding out the roster. And I mean, they're playing this. Maybe this is why they chose Anubis. We kind of spoke about this at a point, but like, it's a map that doesn't get played terribly often. It's brand new, so teams haven't fully worked it out. So maybe they're just leaning into. Oh my God, Afro, relax.
I love this cocky play. It's just going head first and being like, okay, well, if I die, you guys better have my back. And
fish my up.
yeah, the bomb is dropped down behind. So at the moment, if Nertz and his teammates will actually push up fast enough, they might be able to catch him. Okay, I think they're too slow. And then it now has the bomb. Even if they do catch him, he's going to be able to just run away. So it's a bit unfortunate. A site. And they've changed it up. Real has an opportunity here. Picks up one at Afro.
Oh.
Okay. All right. MHL is alive. He's got an AWP of his own. A little bit of a boomstick. Spots out player, gets a kill. That's the second one this round. Nuts coming up behind. Spots out the player. Afro goes down. Now go recover a weapon if he so wishes.
No shot.
He's not going to jump down. No way. Okay. So this is going to at least be a 2-on-1 retake scenario. This is good. This is the kind of situation I like to see. Smoke goes down. It's at least looking fairly decent here. They have an opportunity, but LDLC recovering from this situation. They were looking very strong with Afro jumping in there. Getting a bunch of kills. MHL, he's got 2 of his own. He's looking to get even more. Got the 5-7 out.
Oh.
Good distance as well for this. They know where he is. He spotted him. He's going to come up behind him. Execution style. Defuse on the board as well. And from 0 to hero here, MHL picking up 3 kills and really making the difference this round.
That felt like a round where LDLC get a little too cocky. They take just a few too many liberties. I mean, sure, the aggressive play from Afro is fun to watch, but you got the rest of your team off somewhere else. Bomb is in no man's land. Somebody has to go back to fetch it, but the players are still being a little cheeky. And by the time Bomb makes its way back to where the rest of the team were, suddenly there's no one left alive on the team, and Amanek is in a 1 versus 2. And bearing in mind, that was an eco from Endpoint, more or less.
A couple of pistols
and they come
inside,
out. Yeah, like it was minimal, put it that way.
Okay,
Yeah.
Decent nade. They're going to be giving up this position. Avro's playing aggressive. Brooksy takes down another one for himself. Oh, back and forwards here, but never mind. Mighty Max picks up 2, but that's going to be all she wrote. Now we've got END.HeavyGoD. Last player left alive. 2 kills on the board for him. Full utility range. He's got so much ground to cover. Molly goes out. Gives away his position. He's going to burn alive. Gravity. Easy headshot. So what... I mean... Looking at what happens here is they just collapse over towards B site, and thanks to Gravity playing aggressive in towards that position, because there's no incendiary grenade that goes down in towards that connected position, he can just push straight through it, and then whoever's at that pole position is just dead.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this seems to be their playstyle, right? Gravity and Afro, one of them is gonna do some crazy aggressive play, and Endpoint is gonna get collapsed on. It almost feels like Endpoint need a 5 stack on the site, because LDLC are doing so well playing off of one another that Endpoint just don't have the chance to get in anywhere. END.HeavyGoD just narrowly survives there. Nice little 12 HP for his troubles after dropping that molly. And let's face it, that molly doesn't do too much. It stems the tide momentarily, but LDLC still very much in control here.
Interestingly, I think they saw where that smoke came from, which means they have an idea as to the fact that no one is up on that position, but that's a smart play coming out from END.HeavyGoD. Because if that smoke wasn't seen, then they would think that at least someone is up on that platform hiding behind it. Hiding behind the pole anyway. Mighty Max does see a play, gets the kill as he's flashed. That is crucial. That could be game-changing here, or round-changing rather. You need as many rounds on the board. They've already lost advantage on this half. After trying to decide where to go, I think he's realizing, okay, I can play cocky, but I also need to be a little bit more careful. Rein it in. That's what a strong captain's going to need to do with this kind of player. Rooksy, another headstrong player, fairly new in regards to obviously this league. Execution out over towards the A site. There is a couple of people here. MHL is going to be in a good position. Flashman looking to be coming out. So the duel is won. Not by Gravity. END.HeavyGoD's going to be close and personal here versus these players. Very low HP though. Brooksy going to be coming up behind these two. They don't realize they're going to get slaughtered. Never mind. They're going to be able to get a trade off. Mighty Max going to be able to pick up 2, and somehow it's turned. Brooksy. It was the answer that LDLC needed, but Mighty Max, he came a knock-in. And blows them away.
It's interesting. The moment LDLC take a slower pace, Endpoint just instantly pull control back. Midway through the round, like early round, Endpoint fall apart. Mid to late, they shine. LDLC cannot get onto a site if they wait longer than like 40 seconds. It's unreal. They need to be fast. They need to be decisive because otherwise Endpoint will fan out, they'll close ranks, and they will not give you the space you need.
That's a fantastic, considering it's giving away the information. Some damage given out. Second smoke going to be coming out here, but Gravity's in his solid position, so he should have an opportunity here to push in. Smoke's going to be going out, but Nerds is going to be playing fairly close and personal here, waiting for them to push in. Flash could be going to be coming out. He's pushed past him. What? Headshot to the dome, and then what? Through the smoke? Afro, how? He must have shown up on the radar. That is insane. Good trade-off. Was it worth it? Probably, to be honest. Nerds has been a solid player.
Yeah, be free and clear. This makes sense. Instant rotate back around.
Yeah,
and this is where they get the most results. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I was just going to agree with you. The fact that they know that Endpoint are a lot weaker on this site. Because it is a lot harder to hold.
Mm-hmm.
A really has one main choke point. B, you've got two main entry points into it. Decent opportunity here.
Taking so long though. They don't do well when they take long. They've given Endpoint time to rotate. Now there's two play. Oh.
Yeah, too slow. Exactly like you were saying. Smoke's still going to be coming out. They're going to be going in for the play. MHL is smoked off. Mighty Max has an opportunity to shine, and he does. Snoblin goes down. Brooksy, he's got to do a 1v4. He's got to open up the book, but there's only 8 seconds left, and they're going to be pushing in. He gets a headshot on the player. The trade-off, it does come through. They're going to be able to pick up the AWP as well.
Much needed round for Endpoint. They can still finish out their CT half with a strong scoreline. There's only 3 rounds left. If they can string these ones together, and bearing in mind LDLC, they're going to be on a pistol now. Not up. Okay. I was waiting to see if we'd get the pause out because they've got a bit of money there, so it wouldn't make sense to go for a full save. So they're likely going to have some upgrades here and there, maybe some SMGs just for that extra bit of firepower. This has been a good resurgence from Endpoint, and a lot of that comes down to how LDLC have been playing. I mean, we said as soon as they slow down, and I think a lot of that comes down to the fact that mechanically, I think that most of the Endpoint players are above the LDLC players. So if you slow it down and you allow these 1v1 scenarios to happen, most of the time Endpoint are going to come out on top. But LDLC play an explosive game. When they all rush out onto the site together and they all kind of aim down at the 1 or 2 players that are there, completely mow them down, take out the opportunity for a 1v1, that's where they start to succeed. And I think that Endpoint have realized this, and Endpoint are going to try and slow them down as much as possible.
Bunch of upgraded pistols, but they've got enough money in the bank for a full buy next round. Basically, they want to do as much damage as they can to the side of Endpoint. Deny those extra 3 rounds on the board here. A execute is going to be coming through. Mighty Max are going to have to go big, but he's getting shot from every angle. Fantastic collapse from LDLC, and now they've recovered 2 weapons for themselves as well, an M4 and A4. And the AK. Unfortunately, the mid control was not there. Unable to hold that on. Now retake has to come through. MHL gets the first one. As the M4 dropped. Pistol's going to be coming out. They're going to have to play a bit faster. They have got 2 defuse kits on their roster here. MHL's going to be picking out the rifle, but Snoblin's here. Ounces gets the kill. Now they know where the last couple of players are. They have to play a lot faster, but time. You have to go in for the hold. And unfortunately, Zaril has not got time to get this through, so he's going to die either way.
I feel like Snoblin gets more value when he's flashed out than when he can see.
I think so, yeah.
It's kind of wild. I don't know. I guess that's Spidey sense, that sixth sense to just know where the player that flashed you is going to be peeking out from. A good round from LDLC, and again, all they had was upgraded pistols, but they collapse in onto the A site, like we said before, fire in on the few players that are on the site, hold down those angles and Endpoint, well, retaking on A. It's freaking difficult, man. Those angles are so tight to try and push your way in. LDLC know exactly where you're coming in from, and they have to just train their sights in on that position. And unfortunately, that means Endpoint, that opportunity into the half is slowly slipping away.
Snoblin, again, comes in. Flasher answers his prayer. He gets the kill. And I think last round we saw Mighty Max fall to the fact that he had to try and cover so many different players that he was just stuck for choice. If we looked back through the clip, he was flicking between players here. He now HeavyGoD. He gets two with the spray. Doesn't even mean to. Gets a third. Afro goes down. HeavyGoD. Fantastic plays. Now Gravity. See if he's gonna keep hold of all this situation. He's got 31 points of HP. Going in for the long rotate. Never mind. Going to be going up back through mid. Knife out. Trying to keep it speedy. So he can change his position. 69 ADR right now. See where that's at by the end of this round. Potentially going to get caught off guard here. Surreal's going to be peeking through. He's just holding his position. Some damage is done, but he backs off. Now Gravity may think that that's actually the A holder. No, he's going to push through the smoke. The ball's on this player. Gravity just searching and pushing through a smoke. That is a smart play, but so risky, and it's worked out so well. I mean, when you've got this many rounds, Sam, you can just play as risky as you want.
And they had no idea that he pushed through the smoke, because why would you? Who would do that? And so they're watching the wrong angle, and he manages to get the plant.
I swear to God, if this is another round on the board here, LDLC are just playing with Endpoint like putty. But I'm excited to see how Endpoint do on the T side. Got a couple of rounds here. Smoke goes out in the perfect position, but they don't know this. The information is not there. They have no kits. Players going to be pushing out through the smoke. Spray comes back through. Have they got it? Yes, they have. But it's only just going to be making... Well, I say only just. They've got a decent couple of, like, 1 second extra. Couple of seconds extra.
Oh, that was such a good attempt. Even when that smoke came through, he was still brave enough to just keep pushing, gets that first kill, and cannot flick onto the last player. But that whole round came down to ballsy plays. And it was fantastic, but it just wasn't enough towards the end of the round there. So now, last round in the half here. Do we go into double digits for LDLC? I doubt it. Got so little cash to work with here. Endpoint, I mean, they've still got the AWP in their hands, but despite that AWP, Afro has been running circles around everyone on this server, including his own teammates. 15 kills. He's the only player above 10. I was going to say double digits, and then I realized Gravity also has 10. But he's the only one above 10. Fantastic, and it's really good to see him performing so well. But it's also nice to see that some of the players that we spoke about earlier, Mighty Max, MHL, HeavyGoD, having those moments like we know that they're capable of. These are some really strong players, and into the second half, LDLC could be in some trouble, especially if Endpoint can snag this round.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with HeavyGoD. He did get a little bit lucky with one of the shots, Doman, the second player there on the A side, but he handled it well. That's exactly what we want to see. 5 rounds of the board for Endpoint. They need the 6th one if they can, but Brooksy, he shuts down Mighty Max, who plays super aggressive down that bridge position. Trying to play a little bit differently. HeavyGoD going to be playing close and personal. Flash is going to be coming through. It's not going to be any use, so the MP7 remains supreme. Flash has to come out from this player just in the nick of time. Afro going to be playing aggressive as well. MHL has his own AWP. Afro has none, but he's got the rifle headshot. MHL is domed. HeavyGoD backed off. He's up towards his position. His teammate's going to be coming through. He's going to be able to get the trade off. Brooksy, last one left alive once again versus the same 2 players. Oh. AWP this time in the Surreal's hands. MP7 in the hands of HeavyGoD. Oh, going in for the peek. He does know where one is. Should have a decent idea where the second one is. He's going to be going in for the spray. Gets the kill. And he comes out. Does no damage. 12 bullets left in this gun. Should be enough to hit the headshot. See, he doesn't even hit the head. He just gets the body shot. GG, well played on that first half. Goes in favor of LDLC. We're going to go take a quick break. And we'll be back for the second half in a couple of moments. Don't go anywhere.
Well. First half done and dusted, but a 10-5 lead in favor of LDLC. And it is their map pick, so we did expect them to come through very, very strong here. Endpoint, with only 5 rounds on the board, they've got quite a journey ahead of them to bring it back.
Let's see if Afro could do the same he did on the pistol round beforehand. He's going to be in a good position. First headshot's going to be coming out, but he's going to get traded out. MHL jumping around the corner, going to be able to land the blow on his head. Brooksy looking to deliver a couple of his own. Gets one kill, going to be backing off. Aminik has got the pew-pews in his hands. It's going to be the jewels. He does drop. He's going to be able to pick up a double kill. No, that's a single. It's going to be Gravity picking up one of his own now. MHL is going to be left on 1v3. Picks up the first one. Now going in for the second one, but not able to. As Snoblin shuts him down with his own pair of dual Berettas.
That's not a good start for Endpoint. That pistol would have been very, very important for them. Get that extra bit of cash. Of course, no bomb planted means absolutely nothing into this round. So very little to work with. Couple of upgraded pistols. Ooh, the Scout. I'm curious to see how that's going to work out. We know what MHL is capable of with a sniper rifle. But he was a bit off and on in the previous half. And obviously this is the T side, so he's going to have to come up huge.
Yeah, that early nade was pretty good coming out from Gravity. He is going for the peak. He may get tagged, but somehow dodges away from the shot that did come out. They have got 3 upgraded rifles plus a FAMAS. They have got the MP9 in hand as well. That's going to be decent, especially up here in double door position. 2 Deagles, Cyril and HeavyGoD going to be close and personal. Flash going to be coming over the top, or is that a smoke? Not sure, but Gravity doesn't care. He pushes anyway. Flash comes out, does nothing. Cyril dies.
The classic.
Yeah. And Nick is now going to be hearing those footsteps. Instead of giving away his position, he's going to be playing a little bit slow. Mighty Max does take out Gravity. I'm interested to see who ends up playing this position for the side of Endpoint. We shall wait and see. At 11-5. Pretty painful here for this team. Mighty Max has to be careful that he's got 2 A1s on that site, plus 1 coming up behind him. He was screwed from the start. Bomb is lost. You're gonna have to go for the recovery. Aminik is gonna be able to get this kill in towards bridge position. His position now known. Nerds may be able to get a rifle for his trouble, but he misses. He went full Nico.
Yeah. Didn't expect too much to come out of that one. But you would have wanted Endpoint to at least do some damage. Now LDLC come through with almost a full bonus. We'll have to reinvest in for Gravity. But for the rest, sitting pretty. Completely happy with how that round went. 12-5. Endpoint still, I mean, after forcing up in that previous round, despite not having that bomb go down, they're now back down onto itty-bitty pistols once again. And these can still pack a punch, sure, but they're still coming up against rifles. It's going to be very, very difficult to get an ingress. Yeah, that's going to put us on 13, probably. Endpoint just floundering.
Yeah, unfortunately, the flash that they throw in there is not very effective when it comes to, obviously, when multiple people are holding that angle. A little bit unfortunate. Nice attempt, I do respect it, but there's going to be the 13th round on the board here for LDLC, and very convincingly so as well. I'm really happy with how they've been playing. I'm very surprised.
Yeah, I've been very, very impressed with how they've performed. I think that, you know, Endpoint, the fact that they've come from Pro League, right? We were talking about this a little bit earlier. So they started out in the ESL Premiership for the UK and Nordics, I believe, or UK and I. And they won that, so they got into conference. They did really well in conference, so they went to the Pro League, and they got sat down. And maybe that's done something to their mental. They're now here in, you know, ECL, and so far... Okay, it's their first game of the season, but it's off to a rough start.
See how it can go. MHL does get that kill. A really solid one. Snoblin goes down. He does give up that position, maybe up and towards bridge. Unfortunate timing. You could say CSGO, but I don't know if that probably applies in that situation. Oh, still a decent amount of utility on the side of LDLC. They are down a player. I would like to see a bit of control in towards connector spot. Brooksy goes down, plays a little bit too aggressive. No one was even trying to flash him in here. Gravity's going to get the flash in. He does manage to find one. May decide to go and play a little bit more aggressively down here, which would be an interesting take. But we are going to be seeing... Oh, nuts. He's lurked his way all the way over towards the A site. And now the rotation's in. MHL. He's going to be holding this connector position. There is one up in towards the double door position, sneaking his way on through. HeavyGoD holding this position. The backfield gets the kill. Gives them 0 space, and now A control is gone. And last player left alive. Amrlik doesn't get a chance. HeavyGoD, too strong.
What a flick. That was like a 90-degree flip around to get that kill there. Finally, they get a point on the board. They just needed to get some cash in the bank, right? First round, they lose the pistol. They force up into, like, pistols. So, didn't have too much there. Third round, because they forced up, they were still on pistols. So, it was 3 rounds of pistols back to back to back. Finally, they get weaponry in their hands. A little bit of firepower to back them up as they start to push forward and things start to go their way. But LDLC...
Oh, he
almost catches him. Oh.
I love that. They did the run boost to try and get him out here fast enough. Doesn't quite work out. MHL is going to be playing aggressive against him. There's another player pushing up as well. They're going to have no idea that a player is just pushing this far down. Snoblin, he's going to really be upsetting his players. Oh, this is a couple. Does get one, but the trade comes through. I'd have to say it's probably GoD's advantage on the Endpoint in that regards. He's done his damage. He set a lot of uncertainty on them, but HeavyGoD's had a bit of an idea pushing down mid. It was unprotected, but it's now got a little bit of extra protection. Shot comes through, but Mighty Max, fortunately for him, has a little bit of stonework in his way between him and that shot. Gravity gonna be peeking in, gets the kill. Again, just no utility coming through here. They're going in blind. Dry, rather, I guess. 3-3-B-3. No sight under control of Endpoint as of yet. They're looking to go over towards A. Not going to be going through that smoke. Afro is going to be in a good position to catch him off. First kill, then he's going to duck behind. Never mind. HeavyGoD's here. Gets the first kill. Amrlik goes down. Brooksy, he's got a Famous and a Dream peeking through. There's no chance. HeavyGoD, he's on fire.
Absolutely phenomenal player on this roster. Said it, a little bit earlier on, and really performing incredibly well. And MHL, not necessarily getting all of the picks, but doing a lot to create the pressure of knowing that there is an AWP, right? You have to play that a little bit more comfortably, tightly, I suppose. And this wasn't one of those rounds. I keep talking about mid, but it's such an important pivot point for the T side. It's one of the most important places, I would argue, that you need to take control of. Even if you don't necessarily use it, you need that control. Because if you don't have it, the CTs can potentially push out and backstab you. And if you do have it, then wherever it is that you have been pushing, if you need to pull back and pivot, you know that there isn't going to be somebody waiting for you to turn around. And I mean, this is what Endpoint do. They take full control of that midsection, and they don't even pivot around. You got one player that kind of goes up towards heaven, but that's off the back of them pushing up through that mid position. LDLC had completely lost control of that. And how do you come back from that? We already said it's such a difficult task to retake on A. Now you've lost your main point of ingress onto the A site because you didn't control mid.
I think playing slow is honestly super beneficial for the side of Endpoint. Because we've seen multiple times LDLC just playing super aggressive. And you can see Endpoint right now are just playing slow. They're like, okay, well, they may well have very low cash, but we're not risking it. We know what they like to do.
Mm-hmm.
This may screw up their heads a little bit. They have 0 information. If, oh. They've just... that molly is fantastic. They're going to be pushed down towards this mid position. They may be able to get a kill here as well. They do. MHL is going to go down these USPs. At least get one. Oh, they nearly forgot to pick up the AWM. MHL is about to be mad.
That was an interesting spot to set up that, like, cheerleading pyramid. I wasn't too sure on that one. Because the chances of them pushing up through mid are like, eh. And eventually they did have to collapse it, push out. They saw some people in mid. They do get 1 kill for their troubles, but not terribly much to go off of. It's been a good comeback from Endpoint. 3 rounds in a row so far, and not looking to slow things down. But LDLC are back in this There's an AWP in the hands of Afro. He's been solid with it so far. Hasn't had an opportunity with it just yet on the CT side. Let's see what he's made of.
I'm going to be holding over towards that position. Has an opportunity to actually play. Oh, Mighty Max, you got to hit those molly spots. He's going to be sitting in the smoke at the moment. MHL can be backing him up, holding above him at the moment. Gravity may be the person to drop down through that spot eventually. A lot of utility has been used. Limited amount is left on LDLC's side. 2 nades, 2 flashes, and an incendiary grenade. Whereas on the side of Endpoint, they've got a decent chunk of it left. So they can go in for these executes. Oh. Snoblin playing close next to Brooksy. In case he gets flashed. But we know of Snoblin, he's good at getting those flash kills. This is what I like to see. We're actually going to be seeing a B hit, which is the first time whilst they're on this side. Afro is going to have to reposition. Snoblin's in the solid one. They're going to be pushing through. Brooksy gets the first kill, and Snoblin and Afro get 1 each. Afro eventually goes down, but not before he's done his damage. Now Snoblin's in the key position, slaughtering them. Nuts falls after finding 1. Fantastic round from LDLC, defending it perfectly.
I mean, that was just silly, in my opinion. You get that utility coming out, and I don't know, maybe Endpoint isn't expecting to have a couple of players towards that, like, pillar connector position, right? You got 2 players looking that way, and you got Afro looking down the B entrance towards gate. So he's holding that with the AWP. He's forced off of his position from that smoke. And as the players walk in, they just don't expect players on the right, and they get mowed down. And then they just fall apart as they start to take a few steps in onto the side. It was silly, but it was well played from LDLC to take advantage of the chaos.
Afro, good first initial kill. Almost gets another one there as well. Down below bridge, but unable to take that skill shot. Heavy. He's going to be pushing through. Gets the headshot. This is the opening. Now they can look to push over towards B if they so wish, or clean out the A angles. Smoke does come out, flash as well. It's going to be forcing this player to play a little bit more aggressively. Afro has to be careful. He's going to be tagged down, but he's an AWP. I don't think he really cares. Flash going to be coming out. Amanex going to be going in for the aggressive push, but unfortunately loses his life. Slightly affected by the flash. So teammate had. Afro going to be peeking round, loses his own life as well. They tried. This is a solid play by Endpoint, and honestly, LDLC had a good response, but unfortunately, the problem was solved by Endpoint, and now this is another round on the board. 9 rounds here, Sam. Economy is not fantastic for either team. Obviously, it's going to be getting built here for Endpoint as they've got 4 players left alive.
I mean, this was fantastic, right? It was a really good divide and conquer from Endpoint. It comes back to what I was saying a little bit earlier on, where if they can isolate those 1v1s 9 out of 10 times, the Endpoint player is going to win. Because mechanically, I do believe that they're just that little bit higher. But LDLC, their whole thing is to try and get as many players as possible aiming in the same direction. It's exactly what happened in the last round. As they funnel in through that B entrance, they get mowed down by like 3 players aiming down sights at them. But in this round, Endpoint slow it down. They send out 1 player, that 1 player wins a 1v1, and suddenly like the entire map has opened up. They get in over towards the A site. Again, it comes down to a 1v1, and okay, Afro is looking in the wrong direction. He's not expecting somebody to have pushed all the way up on towards A site, but it's down to that 1v1. And then the site is open. If Endpoint slow it down, like you said, if they slow down, if they isolate these fights, this should be an easy comeback.
I think they're going to be doing a boost in towards this connector position, which would be super interesting. Maybe not, maybe not. Okay. Well, maybe they were there. Actually, I think Snoblin was boosted above that smoke and towards that connector position, which is, you know, an interesting play. 2 rifles, 3 pistols. Not really too much to write home about. They did manage to get a kill with USB earlier. Ooh, MHL. Almost hitting that shot. Brooksy going to be trying to hold on to this position in a main. He's made his presence known at the moment. Afro going to be lurking behind It's now important he doesn't make any steps, but Nerds, he's holding this position. Afro peeks out. He falls. Solid shots. Playing this clinically. Oh, Brooksy pushes out. He gets a kill. Snoblin as well with one of his own. This could be the end for them if they're not careful. Endpoint could be getting dissected. Amanek push gets a kill, and now Nerds and his teammate have to push over towards A. They've lost a huge amount of players. That Nade did manage to find one. Are they going to be able to get across before the AWP? Oh, the shot is missed. The bomb goes down. Molotov is going to be in position, blocking them from being able to push through. Snoblin is going in for through the spawn here. Smoke going to be going out, allowing HeavyGoD to push through himself as well. This might be his end. Oh, through the smoke as well. He might just catch him off guard. He doesn't. Nuts. Fantastic plays. Is able to get that kill. Heard the footstep to his right. Going to be playing for time. He goes in for the spray. That's so dangerous. 2 HP. How did he live? How did they almost lose that, Sam?
That was such an unreal run. LDLC had some really, really good utility usage there. Some great flashes that came out that gave them a ton of space, and they were able to get a few kills over towards kind of double doors, that bridge area, and that opened up everything for them. Brings it down to that 2 versus 2, and you know, again, a great smoke comes out, blocks off a lot of sightlines. Snoblin's able to get one, is instantly traded out, and it's down to a 1v1. And in that, I mean, it's honestly anyone's game. And unfortunately, a missed shot gives Endpoint the exact opening they need to return fire and finally get themselves into double digits. And bearing in mind there was a low buy round from LDLC, they didn't have much to work with. Now they've actually bought in. They've got limited utility and limited armor, but we've seen what they're capable of. Endpoint cannot afford to give even an inch here.
Such a good round from LDLC. I'm very happy with that for them. Good conversion in regards to economy, but Endpoint are on T side. They don't have to spend as much to get more. I mean, he's going to be playing for information here, playing aggressive. Nuts somehow in his sixth sense. Oh, he goes for the peak, manages to dodge the shot. Mitchell is realizing, okay, we might need to check back. Afro playing aggressive here. If the AWP goes in for the peak, he might have just missed the opportunity here, but Gravity playing in the sneaky beaky corner position does manage to get the kill. MHL looks to go for the trade. Nate comes out. It's going to get followed up by Flash. Completely blinds him. And now we can see Gravity play aggressive, but unfortunately straight into the crosshairs of the AWP. Snoblin is going to be the opportunity here to try and block their players off. There's no smoke to try and block them off here. Flash comes out. Mighty Max, I don't think, saw him. He's going to be going in for the plant. Snoblin does manage to get the kill. That position thought was cleared. It was not. The bomb is planted. 2 players left on either side. MHL, AWP picks up the M4A1. Rose are going to be on the other side of the smoke. Nice. Yes, go for the spray. He gets one. Oh, Amanek, he must have heard that. Nade's going to be going out. Might bounce off in time, but he's going to be the USP instead. That's not allowed. MHL, you do not lose those duels. You have every advantage.
On top of everything, he drops his weapon. I think he picked up like an AK or like swapped it out. Was it an one? I swear I saw it. Not an AK. I swear I saw him had him with the AWP. I'm so flustered that words are hard, but I swear I saw he had an AWP for like a second there, and I was like, what are you doing? And then he whips out the pistol, and he's still able to win that last kill. And the thing is, Endpoint's execute was so good. They use a ton of that utility to split up all of the LDLC players. They've realized they need to isolate those 1v1 duels, and they do that, but LDLC do so well at stabilizing. They pull back, they regress as a team, and slowly the pins start to topple. Match point here. Endpoint, no AWP in their hands here to try and fight back. It's just going to be full AKs, but a lot of utility to play with, so it's definitely possible for them to keep their hopes alive here.
My apologies, you were right. I thought you meant MHL with his AWP.
No.
Yeah, I thought that was super interesting as well. Like, come on. You're going in for a retake. You don't really want the AWP. Afro dropped his, and he picked it right back up. Either way, solid round from LDLC, being able to pull that one out of the bag. Endpoint, honestly, they had that one in the bag. They should not have lost it. But they did. Now we move on. One round away. Afro does go down. That's a good trade-off. HeavyGoD really has been a solid player for his team, so maybe not actually. Afro obviously is top fragger, but he's got a solid set of teammates who've been doing very well. No, it's going to be playing around the smoke, looking to see if any players are playing into this position. Mighty Max trying to distract players in a different position here. Smoke going out over towards B. Gravity going to be peeking down on top of the bridge, but Mighty Max spots his head, gets the shot, single tap of the dome. Brooksy is now going to be in a whole heap of trouble. He has got backup. It's going to be Snoblin. Should be able to get this kill. Misses the shots though. Does a lot of damage, but not quite the killing blow. Snoblin, he has got that incendiary grenade, but throws it out at the wrong time. Spray comes through. He falls. Now Aminek, last player left alive, going to have to try and bring this in for his team. Keep in mind, Sam, they've got no money in the bank. They invested everything into this.
Yeah, they were trying to drive it home. Okay, thankfully they've still got a little bit of leeway here, even though they're going to be losing out on this round, but they don't want to go to overtime. They want to close this out. They had such a solid lead. It was a 10-5 half. Lest I remind everyone of that one. And LDLC conceded so many rounds in this one. They wanted so badly to close it out. But unfortunately, Endpoint just keep themselves alive a little bit longer. That stay of execution. And now, as you said, LDLC have no cash to work with. This is going to be rough. I'm kind of hoping they go for a full save here. Because they could get a couple of upgrades. Realistically, I mean, it is possible. But I feel like, do you want to keep extending your dodgy economy? I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just my weird idealism or overthinking analytical brain. But I think it would be smart here to just come into the next round, guns blazing, and shut it down.
Yeah, I think you're right. After like looking at it, I mean, they still have a lot of rounds, but they buy into 12. If they lose that, well, if they obviously buy into the following rounds, sorry, not buy this one, save, and then buy into the following round. And then if they lose that, they have to save again. So yeah, I think it makes sense in regards to the context of how many rounds they've got left before Endpoint are on 15-2. So you know.
Hell yeah, this makes me happy.
Yeah, P250, that makes sense. Afro had a decent chunk of money. Oh, this is good. Nuts is gonna farm up a decent amount of money. They could actually do a lot of damage here. That's MP7 out of his hands. Mighty Max is able to take down 2. So 1 player left. They managed to get that gun. Or retain it. Actually, no, yeah, they did have to pick it up. No, it's getting those 2 kills. Gets him some extra money in the bank, but honestly, they haven't actually got that much money.
LDLC came into this with like 1 flash, I think. Hell of a lot to work with, and Endpoint threw out a flash of their own and completely decimated the entirety of LDLC. But now, this is what we were looking towards. Saved in the previous round, now they can buy in, and it'll be a proper full buy. So they have a decent opportunity. I mean, Endpoint, knowing that they're still on a little bit of a knife's edge here, opting not to buy up into an AWP. You don't really want to take any chances, you know, unnecessarily. Keep it simple, keep it solid. I mean, they've got 3 rounds of match point just to get to overtime.
Mighty Max already down to 38, and he's barely breathed in this match already. Wow, Gravity just saw utility getting thrown out. Interesting spot to actually some early information. MHL, he goes in for the aggressive push. He gets slammed to the ground. Incendiary grenade going to be coming out towards that B main. Unable to contest with that. They're going to have to fall back. Nuts might get a shot. He does. Afro playing a little bit too over Eager Beaver. It used to be a wallbang up through that bridge. Gravity doesn't matter. He gets the kill, but Surreal through the smoke makes quick work of him, and now there's 3v3. Mighty Max is dead, so no low HP players on the side of Endpoint. They've got the bomb. Are they looking to go towards B? They are, and Nerds. This is an area that he would usually defend when he's on the CT side, so he knows the areas to watch for. He can play aggressive up in towards that area. At the moment, mid. This is very dangerous. So many different angles to watch. They haven't cleared out the box on the right yet. Pushing through. Snow's going to be holding that angle. His head is found. Blown away. EnD.HeavyGoD and teammates can just push on through. Love it. There we go. All the way onto this site. They should be able to get the bomb plant. And there should be another round on the board. 13 rounds there, Sam. 2 rounds to overtime.
And this is what makes things a little dicey for LDLC. Probably going to save here. Because obviously, they bet everything on this round. They saved in the previous round so that they could buy into this one because this was meant to be the round where they closed it out. Now, unfortunately, they've not managed to secure this round for themselves. So Endpoint are going to be on 13. The rest of LDLC are going to be on probably a broken buy of sorts. I think they're on about 3,400 credits or 2,900, somewhere there. So it'll be a half potential force thing. It's not going to be ideal no matter how you look at it. And that's going to get Endpoint probably to 14. Like, the pins just keep toppling here. And LDLC are slowly losing what little bit of an advantage they had.
Yeah, I mean, they had this in the bag. But unfortunately, just due to a couple of mistakes, they almost had that round. And they almost were in a position to be able to take that home, but just a couple of mistakes here or there. And a couple of perfect plays as well from Endpoint, really taking advantage of the mistakes that LDLC made in that last round. And it was a clever play. They pushed down in towards that mid position. Snowland, he tried his best. Unfortunately, the headshot came out. Unfortunately, when you've got the A1, you're not going to win that duel as many times as you may wish. So we are going to be seeing upgraded buys here. Upgraded pistol, rather.
Mm-hmm. Happy to see that. Again, kind of working towards that next round. Make sure that you can buy in relatively strong. Try to close this out. I mean, next round is going to be their last opportunity to close this out and not take us into OT.
That's with the molly. The nade's going to be coming out, doing a lot of damage again. 57 on Nerds right away. That's similar to what Mighty Max had. I think that's about the same. Maybe a bit more. Mighty Max is able to breathe. Excited to see what they're going to be able to pull out this time. This could be the 14th round on the board, or this could be the map win that LDLC so badly want. They picked this map. Got new talent on their roster. Bad flash coming out. MHL looked straight into it. You might see a bit of an aggression. Afro giving it away his position. MHL is going to be playing closer personal. They know where he is. Smoke goes out. Cuts MHL from his teammates. They're going to fall back. No one was over towards the A site. And he's just going to keep pushing. We do see Gravity go over towards this site alone on A. Lot of utility being used by the side of Endpoint, but they have got a lot to burn. It's going to be going down. First fight comes through. It's going to be a trade-off each way, back and forth. It's a decent start for LDLC, but they do lose 2 players for that one. So we're going to be sitting on Gravity's shoulders. I'm sure that's going to be weighing down on him. Oh no, his leg was spotted. This is unfortunate. He's not going to realize that they know where he is. Giving it away, and this should be the round. Afro, he's going to fall to MHL, and what a round. 14 rounds on the board here, Sam. Last one.
So I said it before. Last opportunity for LDLC to close it out. To not take us into overtime. And Endpoint, I mean, they are adamant. They want that OT. They want that chance to stay alive. AWP out once again here for MHL. Double AWP for LDLC. We just got serious, folks.
I respect. And Afro, he gets the kill. Mighty Max is shut down. The trade comes through from the opposition's AWP, but Nerds is also tagged in the process. Solid plays, but Gravity, him and his teammates realizing, okay, well, we might have just kicked the hornet's nest, because he's going to be pushed out of this position. Endpoint. Was that a good trade? I don't know. Snowland, he's been a bit of an issue for them in the past. losing a player that early on and another player getting tagged so heavily. He's one-shotable by these M4s now. He's going to be playing aggressive in towards that connector position by himself. Smoke's going to dissipate. Well, Brooksy misses the opportunity to shoot him. He's able to get that information out and stay alive in the process. AWP is going to have to back off from this mid spot. Afro still going to be alive, though. That's surreal. If he peeks in here, Gravity's going to have it solidly held. He's crouched. He's got the A1. All he has to do is tap a couple of times and you're dead. There's no players ready to really sort of chuck the execution or sort of utility down there. Afro goes for the tag, misses a shot. This is mid lost. Surreal pushes in. He's going to get a double kill going huge. Never mind. HeavyGoD with one of his own. Now Afro's going to be pushing in towards the site. Gets one. Going to have to back off. Amanek takes down MHL in towards mid position. Well, actually, that was River. Reload comes in. It's going to be double AWP retake situation here. Amanek.
Oh.
This is just difficult. How do you even try to go for this? You have to wait for your teammate to play a bit of a distractive role. Oh, what? He's just managed to pick up the A1 through that smoke, potentially. No, he doesn't even go for it. He's going to be going for the peak, loses his life. Afro, he has to go big, or we're going to be seeing overtime, and he loses his head. He lost his cool. What an insane turn of events. 15-15, who'd have thought? We're going to go into a quick break. I'm going to go grab a drink. We'll see you back here in a couple of moments.
Well, well, well. Overtime on map 1. Who would have guessed LDLC versus Endpoint here on Anubis? Both teams having a far stronger T side than their CT. We'll see which one of them can close it out.
I've been wanting to cast this map again for ages, and there we go. Overtime. I'm excited. LDLC, Endpoint both had solid T rounds. If Endpoint fell on their first 2 rounds here, or even 3 rounds on their T side of this first overtime, I think it might be curtains for them. It's all going to be on LDLC's shoulders. How strong can they be on their CT side? Interesting smoke that. Going to be looking to abuse the high position on that. And Endpoint, they're playing slow, Sam. They know that. LDLC at times like to play aggressive, so why not wait them out for a couple of seconds? A lot of utility being used here. Fantastic execution. It's been practiced. No kills either side yet. MHL is tagged out. He's an AWP. He doesn't care. Looks like we have got a setup over towards the A site. Execution's coming in. Heaven's going to get smoked off. Amnic's not going to be in a position to really do too much for the flash. Doesn't matter, because he's going to be able to get the spray from the smoke. Doesn't get the kill, though, but in turn he does go down. Mighty Max onto Gravity in this first round. Looking like it's going in the side of Endpoint, but retake potentials here. Afro up close. A personal gets a double. Good, huge. Looking in for another one, but it's going to be Snoblin. MHL's last one left alive. Has to go big. Unfortunately, he gets shut down. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about how A side is so difficult to retake. I don't know, Endpoint kind of fumbled the bag a little bit there. Not covering those angles. Okay, to be fair, Afro goes nuts. Him being able to get 2 shots in such close quarters, ridiculous. And it was really instrumental in helping them win out that round and get that retake done and dusted. But yeah, a little bit lackluster from Endpoint. I think that a lot of this kind of chalks down to, we know that CT can be a little bit easier, or sorry, a little bit harder to navigate, which makes it quite interesting that both teams seem to be doing a lot better on their CT sides.
I mean, Endpoint did really badly.
You have a point. Yeah.
LDLC are doing solid on it, but they also dropped the ball. I mean, they lost the same amount of rounds on their CT side.
That's a sad reality to face, I think, if you're Endpoint.
Yeah, they got 10 rounds on their T side, and then lost 10 rounds as well on their CT side. But I think if LDLC, like I said at the start of this overtime, if they can make it work on their CT side, at least for a couple of rounds, they should have this one in the bag. And honestly, after that last round, I'm a little bit worried for Endpoint. There's a couple of mistakes there. Like you said, Afro did go big. I do kind of find it funny, and I'm kind of glad I did down talk Afro, because set the expectations low. If he blows them out of the water, makes for a good game. Amnic's going to be playing close and personal here for the AWP. If they decide to go dry on this one, they do. We'd expect that. Brooksy finds the head of HeavyGoD. They're just being dismantled on this front. MHL have to back off as well. He's very low HP. Snoblin might get a chance to get another kill here, as his player's going to be going in dry, going in for the peak, but this time the headshot does come out on both sides. MHL turns around, gets the kill on Gravity, who dropped down from bridge. 3-on-3, but honestly, every advantage on the side of LDLC in regards to HP. 2 AWPs, we've seen how this has gone before, but this time round it's going to be Brooksy going huge, picking up a 3-piece. No need to go to KFC, he's got it in hand.
Oh, this does not bode well for Endpoint. This is the half, quote-unquote, where they should be doing better. This is where they should be getting results, and it's just not happening for them. LDLC 2 rounds in a row here. Looking to potentially close this one out. If they get this next round, there's every possibility that they can just snatch this map away. And of course, it is their map pick, so we do expect them to do well on it. But Endpoint, I mean, they came in as the clear favorite into this, and they are getting pushed far harder than expected.
Yep. Well, first match up into this, and they are suffering. Oh, MHL, you can't afford to miss that whatsoever. But it doesn't matter. His teammates are going huge, picking up multiple kills, and let's X in what was left of LDLC. And you know what? They have to win these rounds. They can't afford to lose them. Amanek, he loses that opportunity. Never mind. He goes in for more. He's hungry. Double AWP. Afro. Gonna have to get some close proximity shots here. Doesn't matter. Unfortunately, being on that boosted spot means he's not meant for this world any longer. Wow. Okay. You know what? LDLC getting that one round. I mean, sorry, managing to get those 2 rounds. I think that's enough. I think there's really any world in which we see Amanek pick this one off. But you know what? Getting that kill at least is something. Second overtime, we're going to be seeing Endpoint on the CT side. I struggle to see how Endpoint are going to deal with this.
Oh! Gotta hit those. Oh. Not that it matters. Yeah, I mean, worth a try, right? You're about to... You've still got cash. You're about to swap sides. Whatever. Toss it out. See if you can get something done. Unfortunately, not to be. But like you said, right? LDLC possibly have done enough. They need 2 more rounds to snag themselves this map. They can get that one right. It'll be crazy. It'll be such a cool turn of events as well. We got to see Anubis. We got to see Endpoint get, like, smacked down. It'll be dope.
Definitely interested to see what ends up happening here. LDLC coming in strong. Inferno is up next, and keep in mind, obviously, Endpoint lost. Was it 2 days ago or yesterday? I can't remember when they played Vertical-esque, but they ended up losing that one. 16-6. Not in their favor. Not really a situation you want to find yourselves in. And now they go towards the CT side on Anubis. This is really not looking too good for them.
Alright, here we go. That was just a little round in between. So give them a chance to run around and knife each other, you know. A little bit of a break from the stress of actual play. Now we're finally going to jump in to our 4th round of OT. As LDLC look to close this out. And Endpoint somehow got to stem the tide. And we said it a couple times, right? It's all about pacing. If Endpoint can slow LDLC, if they can isolate those 1v1s, they have a chance. But if the first half is anything to go by, I'm not sure.
Right off the bat, it's going to be interesting to see compare, obviously, how LDLC are playing their T side now as we go through into overtime. Execution out in towards this position. In towards the mid one, that is. Mighty Max going to be falling back. Decent use of utility as well. Try and slow them down. No, it's going to be coming up behind them. Goes over a spray. He finds one. The bomb is found. And now they can just back off. They've got the information. They now need to make sure they don't lose grasp of everywhere else, which, you know what? They have. Mid. It's lost. Or almost, anyway. No, it's still got this position and connect to hell. This is going to be crucial. Afro is going to be seeking up and going to playing aggressive with this AWP. Luckily, no one is here. There's 0 information for Endpoint now. If they held on to this position with maybe 1 player, maybe something could have come of this. Again, 1 kill is crucial. Flash is going to be coming out and allows them to go in for the push. Nerds is going to be in a crucial position if he plays too early. He's going to get found, but his teammate's going to help him out. So Real's going to be able to pick up 3 kills. Goes big and Mighty Max with one of his own. Suddenly, Endpoint looking like a different beast on this.
Those 1v1s, man, that's all it's about. They do a really good job of consistently shutting that down. Forcing those 1 versus 1 battles and winning them out. Now we're tied up again. It's crazy to think that we might even see a double OT. We're so close to it, right? We're right on the precipice. Whoever wins this round, though, very likely could go home with gold.
Afro, AWP in hand. He's been such a beast with it. Unfortunately, failing that boost. They're going to try for it again. Smoke does come out. And now we're going to actually do it properly. And he's not going to fall down. Amanek going to be playing aggressive over towards a main. Never mind. Does back off. Looking for information in towards connector. Nerds is seeking for some information down there himself. Spray a little bit. Mid position is lost. Flash comes out. They can now play a little bit more aggressive, going for information. Surreal playing around this smoke. He has to be super careful. Mighty Max has not got a smoke to be able to give him. I mean, sorry, yeah, flash. Smoke does actually come out. Surreal's going to have to back off. Good nade!
Oh.
Is what you want to see. You may not realize the amount of destruction he did there, but that is a lot of damage. Nuts takes down Amanek. That's going to be a second one coming up. That's the bomb lost. That is huge. This could be the 18th round on the board here. Endpoint. They look to close this out if they can. MHL is going to be peeking up behind these players who drop out of bridge. Gets 2 for his money. Afro, he's going to be playing aggressive himself. Does get tagged down, but Nerds comes in with his final 3rd kill. What a round. Endpoint taking control.
LDLC, I think, got 2 in their own heads. I mean, we're used to them taking a really, really aggressive stance, pushing out, moving as a team and shutting down the Endpoint players before they have an opportunity to isolate those duels. Now they're playing slow. They're playing into Endpoint's hands. They're allowing Endpoint to maintain control round after round. And now, if they have figured it out, well, it's a little bit too late for that, isn't it? Endpoint pulling out the double AWP. I saw it there. Don't think you can fool me. There was another one out there on the board. LDLC should obviously gonna still be able to buy in, but they don't have that same kind of firepower. They definitely can't match two AWPs. So they're gonna need to use a lot of util, and they're gonna need to get in hard and fast.
Welcome to Anubis, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else. Gravity going to be pushing his way towards Connect, and Nate comes out from Nuts. He's going to deliver 5 points of damage. Very lackluster. Smoke's going to be coming out. It's going to be an incendiary grenade to counter the push from Gravity. Denies that push, but look at this. They're looking to execute over towards this A site. Molotov comes out from them. Smoke to counter them. There's a smoke up on the roof. Don't know where that was from, but interesting play. The smoke does slow them down, but having this control of a main is huge. And there's only one player over here. It's going to be HeavyGoD. This could be the end of him. He's not careful. He's going to have to go huge. They're pushing up against him. He finds the first kill. He needs to find more, but he's backing off, realizing that 5v4 is going to be much better and easier than anything else here. AWP, anything that connects to position. Very slow to respond here, but the bomb has gone down. Time is ticking. MHL takes down Afro. Fantastic duel with one. HeavyGoD go big, but unfortunately runs out of bullets, but the chase is on. Surreal catches him off guard. Snoblin, last one left alive from 1v4. He's asked to go big, but unfortunately can't. That's going to be the GG. Well played. Endpoint still away. LDLC's victory on their own map. What a turn of events. Overtime was a long shot, but Endpoint brought out the band. They came alive. We saw multiple of their players unable to get a single kill for multiple rounds. I was very worried, but Sam, how did they do that?
I'm blown away. I'm honestly blown away. A 10-5 half in favor of LDLC, and Endpoint rallied themselves. I wasn't sure, I thought 5 rounds is not enough, and then they